The real drama comes from what it represents. The fantasy that a regular person, a local hero, could somehow take down a former pro. It is David versus Goliath. Only Goliath used to average 12 minutes a game and rear warm-ups most nights.
All right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope you all having a good night so far. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. All right, so as I've been a huge fan of the old school basketball channel, old school b-ball channel, I started going through some of the older videos, and this one popped up for me from about 5 months ago and caught my attention. It's called Brian Scalabrine versus George the Messiah. What happens when a regular guy challenges an NBA player? And I have not seen this one-on-one. It looks like it's taking place in the street, like in a park. But I have seen some of the previous one-on-ones from Scalabrine, where I think he had like a whole series on it for a while, where basically, you know, he was picking and choosing like opponents and then just like annihilating them one-on-one. And honestly, it's a beautiful thing to watch. I get a good kick out of it, because anybody who, like, you know, it's one thing to like compare basketball NBA players against other NBA players and say, well, you know, you suck compared to this guy. But anybody who's crazy enough to go, I could beat him, it's like, okay, because there's levels to this stuff. So anybody in the NBA is pretty damn good, man. I don't think any of us is gonna actually beat an NBA player. And yeah, I got an opportunity when I was younger, and I sure didn't. You know, I sure may have thought I could back then, and I sure didn't. I got whooped. I got my ass whooped. So this is fun for me to watch. Real quick before we do this, I've been looking around for like a playlist or something that shows all of those one-on-one games with Scalabrine versus, you know, random people. If anybody knows, like, can like shoot me a link or like describe it in the comments, you know, like video title this, video channel this in a comment, I'd really appreciate it, because I can't seem to find it, and I would love to react to all of them, tell you the truth. Guys, long intro, sorry. Let's get right into this. I'm gonna link the original video from Old School B-Ball down below in the description. Also you'll see a list of channel members down there. Shout out to my channel members. I really appreciate you. And interesting new member joined. Interesting only because the name is RightHandKam, which is also the name of the very first member that's ever signed on in here, and I checked to see if it's the same. It's a different person. So welcome, new RightHandKam, and old RightHandKam. What's up, brother? I forgot about you. Yeah, this made me do a double take. So anyways, you guys, like the video, hit that boost button. It helps out a ton, and or that hype button. Let's rock and roll.
George the Messiah versus the White Mamba. Let's make some space for them too.
It is a Saturday in New York City. West 4th Street, better known as the Cage, is packed. Spectators line the fences, phones are out, trash talk is flying before the ball even hits the pavement. On one side, a 46-year-old retired NBA role player.
46 now.
On the other, a streetball character who looks like he walked out of a Spike Lee movie. Hoodie, boots, beard and all. And the internet.
Okay, I don't know anything about George the Messiah. This is new to me. But straight up, I'll be real. You know how like we could judge a book by its cover. If I walked onto a court and I saw him, I wouldn't think like this guy's about to cook me. So let's see. I'm curious what he can do.
About to have a field day.
I may suck for an NBA player, but I don't suck compared to you. I suck compared to Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook and those guys.
But before we get to what happened in that cage, let's talk about why this kind of matchup captures people's imagination and always goes viral. It's not really about who wins. We know who's going to win. The real drama comes from what it represents. The fantasy that a regular person, a local hero, could somehow take down a former pro. It is David versus Goliath. Only Goliath used to average 12 minutes a game and rear warm-ups most nights. This is where Brian Scalabrine comes in. Scalabrine played 11 years in the NBA. He made 3 finals appearances. He won a ring. He scored a career-high 29 points in a real NBA game. But somewhere along the way, he became something else. A walking inside joke. A human victory cigar, the goofy redhead who rode the bench and collected paychecks.
Okay, I've heard this from the Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce podcasting that they do, and they were both talking about Scalabrine. Actually, Scalabrine was a guest. It kind of made a lot of sense to me. Kevin Garnett basically said like Scalabrine is like the best teammate you could ever have, because he's not going to consume a bunch of minutes on the floor, but in practices, he's the guy. Like, he's the guy who's making everybody work hard. You know, he's busting everyone's ass, and, you know, basically he's preparing these guys who he knows are better than him for battle. You know what I mean? So I think that's how he survived in the NBA so long, is probably he was just like such a positive outcome for a low-pay player, because it was just great for the team, you know?
And you know what? Scal embraced it. He leaned into the White Mamba nickname.
Yeah, White Mamba.
He cracked jokes about his own career. He became a cult hero in Boston, where fans would erupt if he so much as touched the ball.
Yeah, good.
But beneath all that is a competitor. And over the years, he started to notice a trend. People thought he was just some guy, as if riding an NBA bench didn't make him one of the top 400 basketball players on the planet.
And so he also is the guy who birthed like the coolest line I've ever heard. To basically just insinuate there are freaking levels to this thing. What was it? I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me. And there's nothing anybody can say about it.
He decided to do something about it. After retiring, Scalabrine launched
Look at that.
what he jokingly called the Scalenge.
Yeah, yes, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I've been able to find just like clips of the Scalenge, but not the whole thing.
He invited regular people, weekend warriors, college kids, pickup legends, to play him one-on-one. The results? Brutal. Shutouts, blowouts, complete domination. Scalabrine would play 10 feet off guys, let them talk trash, and then casually erase their shots, knock down jumpers, and win 11-0.
It's so
Every
easy.
time. It wasn't even close. And that was the point. Because what Scal was doing, beyond defending his own pride, was teaching a lesson.
Yeah.
Even the 15th man on the NBA roster is on a completely different level. Which brings us to George Papoutsis, the better known online as the Messiah. He's not your typical bowler, former cab driver, bridge painter, self-made street ball showman.
Okay.
He built a following in New York City by draining shots over the fence at the cage, shouting backboard before launching bombs from the sidewalk.
Backboard? What?
He's a character, a personality, and he's good in the way a street bowler is good. Flashy, theatrical, fearless. So when he said
In those jeans too, like this does not like look like a guy who's about to pull out some tricks. This is cool. I mean, I'm not saying that like as a bad thing. I mean, that adds shock value to this whole thing. By the way, Scalabrine looks like he gained plenty of weight from when he was doing the Scalenge to now. So that should make this a little interesting.
he could take Scalabrine one-on-one, it fit right into the mythology. The working class hooper challenging the establishment. The outsider taking on the pro. The internet ate it up. And to his credit, George showed up. Let's pause for a second.
Okay.
The cage isn't just any court. It is the court. If Rucker Park is the mecca of street ball, the cage is its back alley, brother. Tight, physical, and unforgiving. It is where legends have fought for their name, their pride, their respect. And it is also where the rules bend. There is no space to hide, no refs, no real structure, just you and your opponent. And
Where is this? Where is the cage? I'm not aware of this. And have you guys ever been here?
the crowd. When Scalabrine stepped into the cage, he didn't just walk into a court. He walked into hostile territory. What followed wasn't some dramatic back and forth. It was a reality check. George played physical, real physical.
That's a good point. Yeah. Scalabrine is not, well, I mean, I don't want to say not welcome here, but this is the Messiah's court right now. It's his home turf.
At times, it looked more like a rugby match than a basketball. But Scal stayed composed, let his game speak. He hit shots, played defense, used his footwork, timing, and IQ. All those years of training, kicking in effortlessly. Final score 11-0.
Wow.
Let's go. Turns on him. Puts it up.
Yeah, he's manhandling him.
Yep. Come on, Scal.
Nice pivot.
Up. Come on. Back up. He goes driving down the lane. Oh my goodness.
Scal didn't even break a sweat. But then came the viral moment when Scal snapped just for a second. After getting bumped one too many times, he let George have it.
That's right. He's battling me every time. So I said, cool. I'm cool.
Put your hands on me, see what happens. It wasn't just about game anymore. It was about every time someone treated him like a joke.
Wow.
This is why these matchups go viral. Not because we think the underdog will win, but because we need to be reminded of just how high the NBA bar really is. We see guys miss shots on TV and think, I could do that. But what we don't see are the years of grind, the thousands of hours spent refining their craft, the margin for error that vanishes the second you step onto a professional court. And even a guy who...
I'll be completely real here, because I do this when it comes to guys, professionals missing free throws. Now, the most people I've ever been in front of while shooting free throws, and I used to average 90%, was just a couple hundred people. So you're going to put me in front of thousands and thousands of people with the bright lights on? I feel like I would adjust. I feel like any of us would adjust over time. But if it doesn't happen, imagine if you just you completely fall apart and your rookie season and you just can't make a damn free throw, and then it just the pressure keeps building, and every time you're at that free throw line you just see the lights and you see thousands of people and you freak out. There are aspects to it, to the NBA, that it does make it more challenging because of the audience, in my opinion. And it's also why when we saw the 2020 bubble, playoffs, everyone was playing their best basketball. We got to see literally how good these guys can be without any audience, and it was a completely different game to watch. These guys were hitting crazy shots. So I got to be fair. Sometimes I am very hard on people not being able to make free throws, but I think that pressure really eats them.
Who averaged 3 points a game in the NBA, he can still cook 99.9% of the population without breaking a sweat. That doesn't mean streetball doesn't matter. Far from it. Streetball is the soul of basketball.
It is.
Creative, raw, unfiltered. It is where the love of the game lives, without contracts, endorsements, or highlight packages. Guys like Paputzis do belong in the basketball conversation, but that conversation shifts the second you are standing across from a pro. It is like comparing a garage band to a touring musician. Both love music, but only one does it at a world-class level. In the end, this wasn't just about Scalabrine.
Wait, I'm just curious. I don't know if you have to bring. Wait, I don't know if I have to bring my A game to beat you. They're just talking trash.
About Scalabrine proving a point.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, he says it 3 times.
It was about all the overlooked pros who had to listen to people tell them they weren't good enough. It was about all the fans who forgot just how hard it is to make it and stay in the NBA. And it was about basketball itself in all its forms. From the glitz of the NBA to the grit of the cage, there is one constant truth. There are levels to this game.
Yes,
and
sir.
If you ever doubt that, well, just ask the guy who went 0 for 11 against the white Mamba.
Damn, man, that was a deep video. You know, that was not only a fun video, but really like it's something we don't usually talk about, and it is definitely for real. You know, we can all sit here and say whatever we want to say. I got a microphone in front of me. I can say whatever I want to say, but you know what? I never made the NBA. You know what? So I can't say jack about Scalabrine because, you know, but I never would. You know, that's one thing. I'll pin NBA players against NBA players and compare them and all this stuff, but I've never once said like, I'll go out there and I'm better than Scalabrine or something like that. Like, that's just asinine. But there are a lot of people who do. So I think this is the whole Scallenge thing, and cool to see he's still doing it because he's getting old. Like, I don't know. That might be the last one, or if he's only got a couple of more of these kind of games left in him. But it's really cool that Scalabrine did it because I don't recall anybody else really doing this before, which is just accepting the challenge. We got, you know, a non-pro who's going to call out an ex-pro. Let's go. You know, let's do it. Let's record it. Let's put it out on the internet. Everybody can see it. And, you know, it'll settle it, you know, because there are definitely levels to this type of thing. And, all the trash I can talk about the current NBA and stuff, it doesn't mean like skill levels are low. You know, it takes a lot of skill to get to this NBA level, and I'm just not happy with the systems that are in the NBA right now and how they're making everybody play all the same style of basketball, yada yada yada. But yeah, I'm not gonna walk up to Devin Booker and be like, yo, I'm gonna whoop your ass one-on-one. You know, it's not gonna happen, dude. Devin Booker's gonna ice me like 5-1 if I'm lucky. You know, 5-1 if I'm lucky. Anyways, you guys, I am heading out of here. You guys got a video to send some people. If you know anybody who's like literally like that guy's a bum, I'd whoop his ass one-on-one. Send him the old school b-ball video here. It is linked down below in the description, and maybe this will change their mind a little bit. Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna head out. Thank you for watching. I love videos like this. I really do, because I knew nothing about this except for the Scallenge, and like I said, I want to watch more of the Scallenge, and I just need to figure out how to do it. Last time I searched for it was over 6 months ago, so if you guys can help me, and I mean if you guys want me to react to the Scallenge stuff, then you know, and you guys have it, stick it in the comments for me. I'd appreciate it a lot. All right, guys, I'm heading out. Enjoy the rest of your night. I will see you all in the comments. It should be a fun one. Question is, have any of you guys actually played an NBA player or a former NBA player? I happen to have that luxury twice. It was against the same guy. Most of you know, Frank Johnson. Basically, he was like a 6-man for the Suns, backup point guard for Kevin Johnson at this point. And I got to play him 5-on-5. Now, I did good in the 5-on-5. We guarded each other, and I actually did really, really good. I won't say I did better than him or anything, but it was great. And he was playing unselfish anyways. He was passing the ball. I was trying to prove myself by scoring. But when we played one-on-one, in front of my whole school, and he killed me 5-1. So it is what it is. You know, I can tell you firsthand, there are levels to this thing. And yeah, a guy who's only playing like 10 minutes a game or whatever, he's gonna whoop all of our asses, okay? Even when you're in the best shape of your life. But let me know, guys, am I the only one? Have any of you guys had that? Like, I can't believe that's real, by the way. Like, I was like, to think that was a real story, but have any of you guys had that, like, I'd say like luxury or whatever. Like that, it was a gift. You guys ever played an NBA player? I'd love to hear about it. Let me know in the comments. Should be a fun comment section, guys. I'm gonna head out. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Hit that subscribe plus if you want to support the channel. And most importantly, to be water, my friends.